The Xbox Series X game showcase was overall a huge disappointment. I've hit every Xbox since the original and was hoping they would come out swinging in response to a strong Sony PS5 reveal, but unfortunately that definitely didn't happen. Even so, there was still some good stuff in there, and today I'm going to be telling you about the few cool looking games from the show and my biggest disappointments. So my two biggest disappointments were the first and last games they showed, which generally are supposed to be the biggest reveals. The first thing they showed was Halo Infinite, and I was expecting it to be a great start to the show. I've loved the Halo series ever since the beginning. I played every single game. For the most part, they've all been great, so the new one should be as well. 343, they made Halo 4, awesome game, but this trailer really didn't do it for me at all. I don't know if it was just a trailer or what. For starters, it definitely didn't look like it was a next-gen game, and I was watching it in 4K 60 on an OLED. Everything looked like it could be done on the current Xbox One. From the brief glance we got, nothing about this really looks like it was a big leap forward. It does have much bigger environments now, and Master Chief is a grappling hook that should hopefully spice up combat possibilities a lot, but you would think after 7 Halo games they would try to change it up a bit and actually evolve on the formula. At least show some new types of enemies and vehicles aside from the same old Covenant Warthog. That being said, Halo has always had some of the best minute-to-minute gun combat loops in any FPS. The mechanic guy from the first trailer just came off as annoying to me, and honestly, we don't need an avatar for character development, especially when you have a main character that the games have never really gone into his backstory. I could care less about this new guy. I want to learn about the Master Chief and his backstory without having to read some tie-in books. Also, the trailer was just edited badly. Toward the end, there's a brute who's talking and they cut to a bunch of scenes that should have had more impact, but really, they just fell flat. All in all, it's a huge letdown for me, and it was a really bad start to the show. And the last game they showed was new Fable. I was kind of torn on this one because I'm a huge fan of the first two on the original Xbox and the 360. I've been waiting for a new Fable game for years now after they canceled Fable Legends, but this new one's not done by Peter Molyneux's Lionhead Studios, and honestly, all they showed was what looked like a CG cutscene that really had nothing related to the game. So we have no idea what the game looks like or how it's going to play. It's going to be developed by Playground Games, who make the awesome Forza Horizon series, so hopefully it'll turn out great. And speaking of that, I was really looking forward to the new Forza game because I wanted to compare how it looks to the new Gran Turismo on PS5 that they showed during the Sony reveal. The graphics looked amazing, but unfortunately they only showed like 10 seconds, if that, of the cars going around the track. Now, on the complete opposite end of the spectrum from Halo was Crossfire X. This is how you do a trailer right. I'm one of those few people who likes the campaign of Call of Duty way better than the multiplayer, so this looked like it was made for me. The single player campaign is being developed by Remedy. If you don't know who they are, they made Max Payne, Alan Wake, Control. They really know how to make great action games with excellent stories. It looks like a Call of Duty campaign taken to a whole other level. You're flying around on wingsuits, you've got this crazy knife, and it even had what looks like stealth suit elements from Crysis. And the whole thing was set to this low-key DMX cover that surprisingly worked really well. Now, it might have just been a really well edited trailer, and who knows how the actual game will turn out, but it really got me excited, which was really surprising because honestly, that's how I expected to feel after the Halo trailer. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out. Medium was made by the people who did the Blair Witch game and Observer, which were pretty legit horror games. This looks like a spiritual successor to Silent Hill, and the crazy thing about it is they render 2 entirely different worlds at the same time. So you get to play through the normal world, and at the same time they have this hellish version in the background that just switches over at any time. Also, the amazing composer Akira Yamaoka from the original Silent Hill series is involved in the soundtrack. He's doing all the music for the Dark World. I'm a huge fan of Silent Hill, so hopefully this lives up to my hype. The next game is Everwild from Rare. Now, Rare's kind of been in a slump recently for like the past 10 years or so, or even ever since they were purchased by Microsoft, but I'm really hoping they can bring it back with this game. It has an amazing art style that was really giving me Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes. I have no idea what the game is actually about, but I really want to learn more. Grounded from Obsidian looks like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids game I've always wanted ever since I saw the movies as a kid. You and your friends get to fight off bugs and other stuff in the backyard, and it looks really awesome. From what I could tell, it's a co-op survival FPS with some of the building aspects of Fortnite. The trailer was a little corny, but I'm pretty excited about the game. Also from Obsidian, they showed a brief teaser of the new game Avowed that looked really cool. I was getting a real Skyrim and Lord of the Rings feel from it, and I can't wait wait to see how it turns out. Psychonauts 2 looked really interesting to me as well. I never got around to playing the first one, but it always looked cool to me. In this new trailer, you have a great song by Jack Black, and it looked like you were playing through something out of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. I'm definitely gonna try it out this time. I was a big fan of the original Stalker. It's like Fallout mixed with Chernobyl. You would have to scrounge around for items and weapons and ammo, and you have this great FPS shooting as you're going from building to building and throughout the countryside, but then you'd go underground and it turned into a horror game. The Metro games have always seemed like a spiritual successor to me. Now, hopefully this new one is the same great gameplay but with better graphics, and if it does, I'll be happy. Now, the final game that got me excited was Tetris Effect Connected. This is developed by Enhanced Games. If you don't know who they are founded by Tetsuya Mizuguchi. He's the guy who made Rez and Lumines. They're two of my favorite games. Now, the original game is an awesome mix of Tetris with the audio and visual synesthesia that he's always been known for. From what I could tell in the trailer, they're adding multiplayer to the already awesome base game. If you've never played any of his games, then definitely check them out. If you want to see how to do a games reveal right, check out my video over here on the best games from the Sony PS5 reveal event. Overall, I was pretty disappointed, but as you can see, there was some good stuff to look forward to. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, have a good one.